Hi, I'm David Bauer, one of the producers at PraiseCharts, and I'm very excited to tell you about a new product that we're releasing called Rhythm Tracks. To better understand rhythm tracks, you should probably know the difference between rhythm tracks and click tracks. Many of you have maybe already been using click tracks in your churches and in your worship experience. Click tracks were designed to use with an already existing band. For example, you have a drummer, you have a bass player, and the rest of the band, maybe a couple acoustic guitars, maybe an electric guitar, keyboard, maybe some brass. Click tracks are designed to work with a band that already has a solid rhythm section. And with click tracks, you've got a click on one channel and the track on the right channel, for example. With rhythm tracks, we're trying to provide the same track elements to an existing band that maybe does not have a solid rhythm section. So if you're in a situation, or maybe you have a service that you don't have a bass and a drummer, rhythm tracks might be a great resource for you to consider using for that type of scenario. Bass and drum tracks have been added into rhythm tracks along with the same track elements that are in our existing click tracks. You might find it a really helpful tool in the absence of a solid rhythm section. Rhythm tracks are a great resource designed to work well with maybe a smaller church or a startup situation that's still in the process of formulating a good solid band. Everybody knows that the key foundational instruments in a good contemporary worship band are probably going to be your drummer and your bass player. With rhythm tracks, we're providing that for you. We've actually mixed the tracks in stereo so you can take full advantage of a great stereo mix of the track, the drum kit, and the bass. Our hope, though, is that you'll be able to use rhythm tracks just for a short period of time, or maybe to get you through a season where you're trying to attract new players to your band. It's important to remember, rhythm tracks are not entirely accompaniment tracks. In fact, they were designed to leave room in the mix for live players in your band, such as keyboards, acoustic guitar players, electric guitars, and maybe some percussion. We're not trying to replace your band, we're actually trying to enhance an already established band that maybe just doesn't have that solid rhythm section with bass and drums specifically. Well, I'm sure you're anxious to hear just how great rhythm tracks actually sound. So let's take a listen to an example of Everlasting God as recorded by Lincoln Brewster. I'm going to play the track, and then I'm just playing a very simple piano part with the track. You can imagine that you could already add acoustic, electric guitar, maybe some percussion in the mix. Other instrumentation that you have in your band would easily fit with rhythm tracks. Just for an example though, let me show you how this works. Now in the beginning of the song, it starts with drums, and then you sing. Strength will rise as we wait upon the Lord. Wait upon the Lord, we will wait upon the Lord. Strength will rise as we wait upon the Lord. Wait upon the Lord, we will wait upon the Lord. Got it? Then he's back to the verse there. See how easy it is to work with rhythm tracks? You simply play the track, it gives you a cue to start. In fact, we've replaced the click from click tracks, so you don't have that in rhythm tracks. You actually have, for count in, just a very simple hi-hat or a cymbal on beats 1, 2, 3, and 4, and then you start the song. It's very simple to work with rhythm tracks. And again, we're trying to enhance the band that you already have. So if rhythm tracks are right for you, we want you to check them out today on our website at praisecharts.com/rhythm tracks. Let's continue on with another example. I want you to hear an example of Mighty to Save if it were to be played with just an acoustic guitar player. Check this out. Well, by now, I'm sure you're already thinking about a few different ways where rhythm tracks might be able to enhance your worship experience. Let me offer a few suggestions of some other areas where rhythm tracks might be very useful. Rhythm tracks work really well for a band that may not have a solid rhythm section, but they're also going to work really well in situations where you may not have a band at all. Maybe you're a lone worship leader leading from a guitar or a keyboard. Well, that's exactly what these tracks could also be very helpful with. Situations such as churches without drums or bass, or lack of a solid rhythm section. Maybe retreats, camps, smaller venues, or small group format worship. Maybe even coffee house style worship. Rhythm tracks might be really good in that situation. Or venues with limited audio capabilities, startup churches, mobile ministries, or satellite campuses. Or maybe even traveling worship leaders who need to bring a virtual band with them when they lead worship. Rhythm tracks can work very well in these types of situations. Well, sometimes as worship leaders, we're found in situations where we're the only worship leader on the stage and we don't have a full band. Well, rhythm tracks actually work really well. In fact, I have a recording of a service that I led worship for on a Monday night. All I had was an electric guitar player and me and a keyboard. Take a listen to this recording. It's not the greatest, but at least you can hear what it might sound like in that type of a situation.
The cross before me, the world behind, no turning back, raise the banner high. It's not for me, it's all for you. Let the heavens shake and split the sky, let the people clap their hands and cry. It's not for us, it's all for you. Sing it out. Not to us, not to us.
Rhythm tracks are actually very simple to use. Once you download the MP3 file from PraiseCharts, you can play that file back in iTunes, Windows Media Player, or any other MP3 player for that matter. You can also burn that file to a disc to play from any conventional CD player that's connected to your main house audio system. Another cool thing about rhythm tracks is you don't need to use in-ear monitors. If you have in-ear monitors that you use on your stage, certainly that's fine. But you don't need to use in-ear monitors to be successful with rhythm tracks. In fact, everything that we've built into the mix, including the 4-beat count-in on a hi-hat or a cymbal, we know that that's going to be heard in the main house mix, and that's perfectly fine. PraiseCharts is committed to providing you the best possible resources to enhance your worship and your music ministry. When you're using rhythm tracks, or click tracks for that matter, be sure that you're using the PraiseCharts arrangements that are available on our website. They follow measure for measure, note for note, the original artist recording. Everything is consistent, so if you're using our charts, our tracks are going to match perfectly. Also, the cool thing about our charts and our tracks is that they're always available in 2 keys, the original key and an alternate key. Most often the alternate key is in a slightly lower key for those of us that like to sing in the real world. Well, hopefully now you have a basic understanding of click tracks and rhythm tracks. Rhythm tracks are quite simply tracks that have bass and drums already mixed in the track. We want each product to be an enhancement to your worship experience and an encouragement to your band. There's nothing like having a solid rhythm section to play with. And rhythm tracks, we're providing that solid rhythm section in the bass and the drums. I hope you will take full advantage of rhythm tracks if you feel they are right for your situation. If you want to hear more demos of rhythm tracks and just exactly what we have in the mix, please take a listen to our demos available online today. We'd like to thank you for using PraiseCharts for your worship resources. If you want more information about rhythm tracks, please visit our website at praisecharts.com/rhythmtracks.